When I first moved to Accra back in 2008 to work as a contractor for a media company, back then I was paid about $100 to cover my monthly expenses. That amount roughly translated to around 150 cedis a month, because back then the cedi was stronger against the dollar and we had gone through re-evaluation of the cedi, and this amount was supposed to cover my monthly expenses. That's my rent, my feeding, my transportation to work, and other expenses that will come up during the month. Although that amount was not huge, I still managed to build up some savings during that period that I worked there, because I tried my possible best to do one thing, that's live within my means whilst I was still working there. I tried my possible best to do simple things like walking to work, because this job was just about 30 minutes walk away from my house, cooking in the house so that I don't have to buy lunch from the workplace, and other things just to keep my expenses to the minimum, because I knew that not much money was coming in at the end of every month. Although this wasn't a huge amount, I still managed to build up some savings whilst I worked with that company, because I made sure I lived within my means. And one thing that I did my possible best to imbibe in myself was to build up a savings culture, even though the amount that was coming in was not enough. With these basic ways of cutting down my expenses, the extra money that I have at the end of the month goes into my savings, just so that I'm cushioned against any unforeseen financial blows. You can call me a miser, but I can promise you I didn't deprive myself of anything, even though saving money wasn't my prime focus whilst I was with that company, because there wasn't much money coming in at the end of every month. I used to hang out with friends and go shopping whenever I needed to. I never felt like I wasn't enjoying life. Those days made me realize that living below your means does not necessarily mean that you are not living your life to the fullest. Living below your means is more about living your present life in a way that your future life is well taken care of. It is largely about making your future financially secure by taking control over your finances today. It also means that you can still spend on activities and things that you love doing, but you should refrain from spending or splurging at the expense of your financial health. As a basic rule of living below your means, I make it a point not to spend more than 80% of my monthly income. You don't have to follow this as a general rule, but you are well within your means if you are able to save at least 10 to 50% of your monthly income at the end of every month. There are many benefits to living below your means, the most important of which is having cushion of savings to protect you against any financial blow. And if you are looking to find some financial peace, here are some great tips to help you live a comfortable life whilst living below your means. Number one, make a budget. Budget is the most important tool if you are serious about saving money by living below your means. A budget is something that tracks your income and your expenditure, thereby keeping you from being broke. It helps you to allocate your monthly income to the many expenses that you have to incur throughout the month. Take, for instance, a situation where you put the following list of necessary expenses in your budget. Groceries, 20%. Electricity, gas and water, 15%. Rent, 25%. Other expenses, 5%. Now suppose your wants, the remaining 35% that's left, covers things like your Netflix subscriptions, your gym subscriptions, cell phone and internet plan, entertainment, eating out and traveling. Whilst the above scenario helps you to live a comfortable life, the fact that your income is all used up by the end of the month is not a great situation to find yourself in. This clearly implies that you are living within your means, but you are not clearly able to save anything at the end of the month. Ask yourself, how long are you comfortable living without having any savings to fall on? Taking a closer look at your budget can help you understand and identify all the expenses that you can easily do away with to help you save money and take a step closer towards your financial goals, besides helping you repay any debts that you owe. Is your gym membership going unutilized? Won't it be better to cancel that subscription and put that money in your savings account towards your saving goals? Can you switch to a cheaper cell phone plan? How much money can be saved by canceling that subscription to those magazines that you haven't been reading for the last couple of months? You will be surprised by how much money you can save on your grocery bills by just doing meal planning and using those leftovers as much as possible. Consider the idea of eating out less often and even possibly shifting to a less expensive rental space. Remember, the very essence of living below your means is being able to save between 10 to 20% of your monthly income and optimally using the remaining amount for the rest of your expenses. Point number 2, do away with credit cards. Credit cards have made it easier to spend money that you don't even have. It seems amazing to buy anything with just a swipe of a card, but what will haunt you later is the high interest rates and credit card charges that will come after you later. In order to save money and live below your means, ditch that credit card for good and use cash as much as possible when it comes to paying for your expenses. This will force you not to only spend on things that you really need, but also not to give in to your bad spending habits. Number 3, control your spending habits. Make it a must to cut down on your mindless spending as much as possible, whilst tracking exactly where every single money you have is going throughout the month. If you are an impulse buyer, consider the idea of sleeping on your buying decisions before you actually buy anything. You might realize that you don't actually need that piece of clothing that you gave into your heart at the shopping mall. Besides that, there are many things that are outright waste of money and you can easily save on them if you just switch to a cheaper alternative. Point number 4, and I can't stress this enough: save, save, save. Make savings your ultimate goal if you wish to start living below your means. As a first step, automate your savings so that you can't spend money on things that you actually don't need. Tell your friends you are trying to save money and that you like to hang out at places that are less expensive than possibly the ones that they are recommending. Even better, invite them over to your place and go for some in-house entertainment that will not leave a hole in your pocket. Point number 5, try bringing in some extra cash. It will be good to live below your means by trying to cut down on your expenses. But one thing that will go an extra mile is trying to bring in some extra cash to try and expand your means. If you're already too frugal with your lifestyle, but you are still able to build up some savings, try boosting up your income a little. You can consider starting a side hustle to make some extra income, or even starting a second job, or even better, switching from your current job to a better high-paid job. You can also consider taking up a freelancing gig on your free time alongside your regular job by just leveraging on your existing expertise and experience on your current job. You can also look at investing to earn interest on your money instead of just leaving it in an account that yields no interest. However, when it comes to investing, you will have to educate yourself before you make any decision, because with the risk of high interest rate comes with the risk of losing all your money, because the higher the risk, the higher the reward. Point number 6, live on one income. If both you and your spouse are bringing in money at the end of every month, consider the idea of living off the income of one person and saving the income of the second person. If you are a dual income family, the idea of living off one income can help you achieve your financial freedom sooner than you think. Living off one income in a dual family allows you to be accountable to your partner and opens up the communication channels when it comes to talking about money and your financial goals. Number 7, track every small purchase. If you are serious about saving money, it is important to track your spending habits so that you don't end up extending yourself off your budget. It is like a conscious reminder to yourself to stop spending on things that you can actually do without. Since my early 20s, I've learned to record every single expenses that I make throughout the month that will impact my budget for the month. And this has helped me to keep my spending habits under control. For example, in my early years, anytime I spend money on a bottle of water, I make it a point to note it down in my notebook. And at the end of the month, when I add it all up, it tells me how much money I could have just saved if I had just carried a bottle of water around instead of just buying it from a store. Number 8, downsize your living space. This might be a difficult one, but for most people, it might be the easiest one to do right now that will change their budget and possibly their financial health today. I know it is easier said than done. Moving out of your house, it's not an easy decision to make right now, given that it holds a lot of memories that you've created over a lot of years. But there are many expenses that will have to be accounted for when you are living in a bigger house outside your budget. Maintenance, utility, rent, and home improvement. Shifting to a rather smaller place can help you cut down on most of these expenses, besides helping you save money towards your most important financial goals, i.e., debt repayment, retirement, and children's education. If you are not a big fan of living paycheck to paycheck and have been trying your possible best to break the cycle of running out of money at the end of every month, then you should apply these tips that I just gave. Change won't happen in a day, but I promise you, if you apply them, change will definitely happen with your finances. The journey of living below your means will be slow, but you will see money adding up slowly in your savings account, and all this will be worth it. If you got value out of this video, don't forget to hit the like button, because it will do well for my analytics and help others to see this video and learn from it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can join me on this journey of financial freedom so that we all learn together. And if you have any questions concerning personal finances or any other thing, do engage in the comment section so that we can all learn from each other. Until the next video, I'll see you all. Welcome guys to my channel. I hear this all the time. I don't have money to rest. I barely have enough to pay my bills. Don't worry friend, I'm here to help you out. I have been there, and I want to share with you today habits that I had to change in my life to allow me to live a life dedicated towards being financially free.